Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. I'm here with my commander, Cobra Cmdr, and I'm about to embark on another mission. I'm still really low on funds and am well under 100,000 credits. Hopefully these missions will bump it up a little bit. Toward the end of this video, I'm going to be trying out a community goal as well, as they can be quite a significant cash input for new players. And as this is still a fresh start, I guess I could put this character into that category. Ultimately, of course, I do want to buy a new ship, but this time around I want to see just how far I can push the Sidewinder. There's a good choice of big ships in the game, all of them are very capable. I've focused on some of them in my other videos, and other people of course have focused on them in their own videos as well. So taking a step back from all that, I'm going to try and stay in this Sidewinder as long as possible. En route to this surface-based mission I did get interdicted a number of times actually. This occasion was a particularly long duel and it took me quite a while to actually try and evade it. At this point it seemed very likely that I was probably going to lose the interdiction. Probably wouldn't matter too much because usually you can try and escape them, but in a Sidewinder there's always the risk that if you get interdicted by a large ship they're going to make very short work of you. Now interdiction can still be very strange at times. It seemed that I was inevitably about to lose that one, but suddenly I won it, which allowed me to continue on to the rest of the journey unhindered. I've noticed there's quite a few other players around this area, which really shouldn't be too much of a surprise as it's still relatively close to the Horizon starting area as well as Primus. So the reward for this mission was 100,000 credits, which I planned on pumping straight back into the Sidewinder before moving on to one of the current community goals, which is a combat focused one. It seemed relatively peaceful out here, but I had seen another commander in the area, and I was wondering if he was perhaps on the same mission. As soon as I landed, I saw him also land, but he settled down right on top of the settlement here, and as I got closer I soon noticed that he'd destroyed all the turrets here. Although he was only in a Sidewinder, he probably had a missile loadout, as all the turrets and all the other things were completely annihilated. But this player turned out to be a player of few words. I said hi to them, but I didn't get any sort of response. Quite a common occurrence in open play, but of course there can be many reasons for that, including the fact that they may not have even noticed a message in the first place. But however it goes, they had made this mission very much easier for me. I could just simply drive straight in and scan the operations terminal here to get a successfully completed mission, which meant quick and easy money in my pocket. Now, having a settlement that had been stripped of all its defences like this one meant that it would be that much easier to drive around, including having a little tour of the areas that are usually protected, and that's something I decided to go ahead and do straight away. The other commander here was still facing the operations terminal after all, and showed absolutely no signs of life. Anyone that's been down to more than a few of these settlements will notice straight away that they're generally constructed from the same type of buildings. However, they do have quite a variety to them, as their layout changes from settlement to settlement. After a while, the other commander decided it was time to leave. I hung about to watch him do just that, and considered equipping my own Sidewinder with missile racks to do the same as him in future base assaults. And then, mission complete within a matter of minutes and not with a single shot fired, it was time for me to move on and head towards that community goal I was speaking about. This particular community goal is located in the system LHS 2936 and is only a few jumps away from Escelas Primus. There are two goals in this particular station. One is for mining osmium and the other is a combat focused one to protect the miners. Now that doesn't mean you actually literally go out there and protect the miners, because in this system it's full of ice rings, so as far as I can tell there's no osmium to actually mine here, but it does mean you can track down and bounty hunt some pirates. There were some other players in this area, not a significant number by any means, but enough to keep it interesting. Signing up for the combat then, I decided to give mining a miss. After all, that's not very practical in a Sidewinder. As I mentioned earlier, there's no resource extraction sites in this particular system, meaning that any bounties or pirates I need to find I'd either need to interdict for myself or find in the local nav beacon. The nav beacon, in my opinion, being the much more sensible option, I decided to go for that one. But of course I had to hope that there wouldn't be anything too powerful here. Being in this little ship with its puny lasers does quite often pose its own set of problems. But I needn't have worried, it didn't take too long to find my first target, in this case a Type 7 transporter that was wanted. Now these guys have fairly tough shields and quite tough hulls, especially for a Sidewinder to take down. But as I approached he became under attack by a couple of other ships as well, making him that much more of an easy target, and for whatever reason he didn't return fire. At least he didn't shoot back at me at any rate. Now, looking at his rank here, you can see that he is an elite pilot, and even in a transport ship he shouldn't have too much problem in either holding us off or turning back and firing on us. At the very least, he should be able to escape and get into supercruise or hyperspace. But unfortunately, he seems mostly harmless, or I would say completely harmless, despite his rank. Now, that's something that's going to change in the next patch. Patch 2.1 is bringing with it a whole bunch of AI improvements, which will largely affect how these ships behave. My hope then is that once the patch hits, taking on elite ships like this will be a very deadly risk to take, especially in a small ship like I'm in. After all, elite is a very hard rank. He may just be an elite trader, of course, but that doesn't mean that he should just fly in circles taking all this damage. So improved combat AI is something I'm very much looking forward to. Once that guy was out the way, I decided to hunt down a couple more targets, but I didn't really want to take on too many. I just wanted enough to get myself into either the top 100% or the top 70% tier of this particular community goal. And that should be enough to give me a fairly significant cash influx when the community goal comes to its completion. So for any new players out there or anyone starting with a fresh account, look for a community goal within your local area. It could either be a combat one or a trade one, or even perhaps a mining one. At the end of the day, even if it's a trading one, you only need to turn in just 1 or 2 units of whatever product's being asked for, and that will almost certainly get you into the top 100% tier, which will probably reward you with a few 100,000 credits, and in the rare occasions it may even reward you with a few million credits. So I cashed in those bounties and then checked out the bulletin board, and you can see straight away that I'm in the top 70% here. Now, this was recorded a few days ago, and I've just recently logged back in to have another look, and you can see now that the first tier has been unlocked, granting me 400,000 credits. Certainly not bad just for a few minutes in a nav beacon and the destruction of 3 ships. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time. Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant, and I thought it about time to have a fresh start with Elite Dangerous. Horizons has been released for around a month now, so I really wanted to go back to basics and begin the game from the point where a lot of people start at.